For modern enterprises, deploying artificial intelligence is a mandatory requirement for operational survival. As a result, we see an environment of unbridled AI innovation, where models move through development pipelines, accelerating rapidly at an uncontrollable velocity. But this velocity is actively colliding with a rapidly maturing, highly rigid global regulatory environment, most notably the 2026 EU AI Act and intensifying SEC guidance on AI risk. These colliding forces result in severe, measurable business risks. Organizations face major deployment delays, public model recalls, and regulatory penalties that can reach up to 30 million euros. This friction point creates the innovation oversight gap. It is the primary source of modern enterprise risk, forcing organizations into a false choice between speed to market and regulatory compliance. The core failure driving this gap is the bolt-on fallacy. The misconception that AI governance is a post-development checklist applied right before a model goes live. Retrofitting governance creates severe architectural debt. A fast-moving data science pipeline suddenly grinds to a halt at a manual compliance review. The alternative is an infrastructure-first model, governance baked in. Here, automated compliance checkpoints integrate directly into the pipeline. By moving governance to the architectural level, compliance shifts from being a manual choke point at the end of development into an automated enabler that runs continuously in the background. Masoha's four-pillar methodology provides the proven engineering blueprint to build this automated pipeline at scale. By treating governance as an infrastructure challenge rather than a legal one, enterprises can transform compliance into a distinct competitive advantage. The first principle of scalable AI governance is straightforward. An organization cannot govern an architecture it has not thoroughly mapped. This requires Pillar 1, architectural gap analysis. This process identifies the critical discrepancies between a company's current deployment state and its required regulatory posture. The goal is laying the base layer for continuous AI infrastructure. Traditional inventories are obsolete. You need active components like automated testing, logging, and bias monitoring. Instead of point-in-time audits, this infrastructure actively sweeps for vulnerabilities, automatically categorizing node risk levels. Executing this gap analysis forces immediate, cross-functional alignment between data science, legal, and executive teams. Pillar 1 successfully translates unknown, abstract regulatory liabilities into a clear, prioritized engineering roadmap. Once the infrastructure is mapped, Pillar 2 introduces human-in-the-loop, or HITL, frameworks to ensure structural accountability. A common misconception is that every AI decision requires manual review. In reality, human intervention is only mandatory for high-stakes decisions impacting individual rights, health, or finances. The challenge lies in identifying the exact node within a complex algorithmic workflow where a human must intervene. We see this clearly in a recent case study involving a healthcare technology company. They needed FDA approval for an AI-powered diagnostic tool, which required demonstrating clear clinical decision-making authority. The solution was a specific three-tier HITL logic tree: routine decisions with physician confirmation, complex cases demanding mandatory physician analysis, and critical cases requiring multi-physician review. This tree routed predictions into an explainability interface showing AI reasoning, requiring mandatory justification for overrides. The operational results were definitive: a 23% improvement in diagnostic accuracy compared to an AI-only baseline, and FDA approval achieved in just 8 months. Strategic HITL frameworks enhance decision quality through human-AI collaboration, while providing the meaningful oversight required by regulators. Pillar 3 focuses on proactive risk mitigation and ethical safeguarding. This directly addresses aggressive regulatory obligations, specifically the mandatory risk assessments required by the EU AI Act and the material risk disclosures mandated by the SEC. Preventing public relations disasters and algorithmic bias requires technical intervention during the model training phase, well before deployment. Engineers implement specific controls, like fairness evaluation and adversarial testing. When data flows through a model, warning flags trigger if disparate impact is detected across protected classes. Using SHAP analysis, teams isolate these variables and correct the bias pre-production. This risk mitigation extends beyond deployment, requiring continuous post-market monitoring for model drift and performance degradation over time. Pillar 3 shifts an organization's posture from anxiously reacting to regulatory audits to actively engineering ethical failures out of the system entirely. The final step is Pillar 4, practical scaling. The hard truth of enterprise AI is that manual governance reviews cannot keep pace with deployment velocity. The solution is governance as code, a method of translating qualitative legal rules into automated CI/CD tests. Consider a SaaS platform attempting to manage over 500 AI-powered features. They were suffering crippling 6 to 8 week deployment delays strictly due to manual compliance reviews. To fix this, they replaced centralized manual review boards with decentralized pre-approved self-service tools for their developers. These automated gates enforce rules in milliseconds, checking bias fairness thresholds, confirming performance minimums, and validating documentation completeness. As wait times evaporated, developer satisfaction scores jumped 40%. The business metrics followed. Deployment cycles dropped from 6 weeks to just 3 days, achieving a 12 times velocity multiplier with 0 compliance incidents. Governance as code turns compliance from a frictional drag into a high-speed acceleration engine. The initial assumption we face is that rapid innovation and rigorous compliance are mutually exclusive. Masoha's 4 pillars prove that assumption wrong. When governance is treated as a foundational architectural layer, both forces align. Innovation and regulation no longer collide. They merge smoothly together into a single high-speed shielded conduit. This unified architecture yields 40% faster deployment, 0 material violations, enhanced customer trust, and the ability to attract top-tier AI talent. The timeline to implement this is closing. The EU AI Act takes full effect in 2026, and SEC scrutiny is already intensifying. In the highly regulated future of artificial intelligence, those who architect trust directly into their infrastructure will secure a permanent, unassailable competitive advantage over those still relying on manual checklists. To begin your infrastructure assessment, book a strategic consultation with Masoha and the AI Integrity Group. Read the white paper, Bridging Innovation and Oversight, and start building AI systems you can trust.